Coal India at 338 levels is up 1% plus in trade today. Now we're going to turn our attention to a transaction which is certainly caught the interest of many in the tech space and the startup universe, and certainly the media. The acquisition of a strategic stake, but a minority stake by Flipkart in MapmyIndia. To understand the motivations and as much financial detail as Rohan Verma is willing to share, we have him with us in the studio. He's Executive Director at MapmyIndia. Thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit today. I should say congratulations on the transaction.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Manvi. We are very excited about this transaction.
So, what are the contours for the benefit of viewers who are just tuning into it?
So Flipkart has taken a strategic minority stake in MapmyIndia. There are two parts to this deal. The first is they've signed a business partnership where they will license our map data and location technologies that can help them transform their business and bring benefits to e-commerce using maps and location. And the second is that they've taken a minority equity stake in MapmyIndia, wherein they've provided a successful exit to our early venture capital investors, Nexus and Lightbox. They've also invested primary equity into the company at a new valuation, which helps us in the way that we want to grow going forward.
Okay, so you've set me off in a whole bunch of different directions. I understand you're not going to detail how much stake Flipkart has picked up?
No, it's a minority strategic stake. Yeah.
Okay, and transaction values for both transactions, you're not sharing those details?
We're not disclosing that.
Okay, so a couple of other things. So you're saying that, the early private equity investors have exited completely?
Correct.
Completely. And the original promoters of the company have also diluted their stake a little bit?
No, not at all.
Okay.
The original promoters continue and have full control over MapmyIndia. Those are my parents, Rakesh and Rashmi Verma, and are continuing to steer the company independently to serve all customers across all industries with the benefits of maps and location technology.
Let's understand the business partnership. To anyone who's watching, it's a shade confusing. Here is Flipkart. It's acquired a minority but strategic stake. And therefore, it seems as if MapmyIndia, in a sense, becomes an adjunct of Flipkart.
Oh, no, not at all. In fact, I think what this deal signifies is that maps and location are core to any business in India. I mean, we've been supplying maps and location technologies to automotive companies who offer navigation solutions to consumers for the last 10 years. And now, over the last few years, all the e-commerce companies, last week you had Ola announcing that they are licensing MapmyIndia's maps, because maps are core to them running their business effectively. And this week you're seeing Flipkart talk about how they need maps and location technologies to run their business much more efficiently and to transform the way e-commerce can benefit consumers. So actually MapmyIndia has been on this path of driving the benefits of maps and location to everybody across industries.
And this transaction will not prohibit you from doing that?
Not at all. In fact,
other e-commerce
players? In fact, it strengthens it. There are many more deals that will be announced in the future where other leading e-commerce companies, other leading startups will also be licensing MapmyIndia's maps. So this is just where the cusp of what maps and location for people to realize what maps and location can do for their business.
So everyone understands Flipkart, okay? Now make it very simple for them to understand what MapmyIndia will do in terms of making Flipkart's operations sharper, better, and customer service more fine-tuned.
At the core of MapmyIndia's business is to build the best map data for India, such good map data that will be able to power even self-driving cars in the future. So how Flipkart plans to use MapmyIndia's map data, which is the largest in the country, is basically to provide you things like real-time shipment tracking. Where is your shipment right now? Or to do address verification. When consumers type in an address in Flipkart, we can tell them whether this is a real address, a fake address, where it is, so that they can plan effective deliveries. So and there's so many other things that they plan to do, which we're excited about. That's what we're looking for in companies, to take the initiative, use maps in better ways. But for you as a consumer, basically you get a much better e-commerce experience. And for them as a business, they can turn more profits because they can run their logistics in a much more efficient manner. So it's a win-win for consumers, for Flipkart, as well as for MapmyIndia.
Okay, operationally, how will this work? I mean, you're working with this sort of new focus. One off a base that, is maps, but this is a new focus. Will you be collaborating on this? How, just detail the operational partnership.
MapmyIndia's business continues independently. We continue to support all our different customers, and there are many new customers in the pipeline as well. This is what we call our enterprise business. We also have a consumer-focused arm where we have apps and GPS devices that we provide to consumers directly. So in terms of this partnership, we do expect a lot of interesting new innovations that Flipkart and MapmyIndia will together work on, which will be made available to consumers. But this just expands the scope and vision and mission of MapmyIndia rather than refocusing us into another direction.
So supposing Flipkart and MapmyIndia work together, and, does that, in a sense, that new, product service delivery capability, does the ownership of it rest with MapmyIndia? How, I think it's just a new phase. We want to know how this works.
We work with all the automotive companies in terms of powering their navigation solutions, and we work with each of those companies in different ways depending on what they want to bring to market. So our objective at MapmyIndia is to drive forward the benefits of maps and location through all sorts of industries: automotive, e-commerce, enterprise, government, consumer. With Flipkart as a business partner, it's the same as with any other e-commerce or on-demand transportation company as a business partner. We'll do lots of different projects with them as well as others.
Okay.
Now, Flipkart also as an equity investor in MapmyIndia enables them to ride on MapmyIndia's growth story as we grow from strength to strength. I think this is why it's a strategic and a minority stake in MapmyIndia.
Okay, and a business partnership. We've understood the e-commerce piece of the puzzle. The automotive piece is, I think all of us who drive cars, we know what it brings to the table. You mentioned government, and I was keen to understand how late off the block or early off the block the government has been on this.
I think the government has had an extremely ambitious agenda in terms of, they talk about mobile governance, they talk about Swachh Bharat.
They talk about, what are they doing?
So in terms of smart cities, let's put it like this. They talk about 100 Amrut cities where they want to make the cities smarter. The base of making a city smarter is to know what all assets such as roads, buildings, etc. exist. I'll give you one small example. In Kolkata, you've had these fires which cause, in hospitals, which have caused a lot of deaths. Now they've used MapmyIndia's data and computer-aided dispatch system to be able to, whenever there's a fire, immediately locate where that fire is, track which is the nearest ambulance or fire vehicle that can respond, and help that vehicle navigate quickly to that destination. So really, people can start making their cities smarter. The government can start making cities smarter using MapmyIndia's solution.
It just struck me, and it's unfair to spring this on you, but in the context of the Chennai floods, the city is absolutely paralyzed, reeling.
It had happened a few years ago in Bihar as well with the Kosi River flooding, and the government had then procured MapmyIndia's navigation systems and tracking systems to do something in terms of flood relief.
So it's not in play with the government there right now?
In this particular case in Chennai, no, it is not there. But just to go on another example, again in Bihar in the elections, they were using MapmyIndia's tracking system. The Chief Election Commission was using it to be able to track whether the elections are happening properly or not, and things like that. So our objective as a company is to drive as much change as possible. We can do this directly as a consumer-facing business, but also we need these partnerships, business partnerships with the government, with enterprises, with e-commerce companies to be able to help them leverage. So yeah, this is a continuous process, and that's what we've been doing the last 20 years, and I hope that's what we'll be doing for the next 20 years.
Well, Rohan Verma, great talking to you. Congratulations on this new chapter with Flipkart, and thank you for joining us in the studio in NDTV Profit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to take another break and be back in a moment. With us will be Jeremy Cook, Chief Economist at World First. The impact of the ECB action has taken markets by surprise. Equity markets for sure. Analysis ahead on the show.